Morning all. So am I audible and is the presentation visible for you? Please do reply in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Fine. Let's continue the yesterday's discussion. ARM processor fundamentals. So what we have studied in the last class was six. First one was the data flow model diagram, a definite question in the examination. That how the data enters, how the sign extension happens, and importance of sign extension, followed by loading the values on register file. From there, using barrel shifter, both operands enters the ALU. Also, the address of registers copied onto MAC multiply accumulator. Okay, so then we had after that diagram. I mean, in the after ALU generates the result, MAC generates the address. So thereby, finally, if you want to display it on the monitor or print it on the file or save it on the hard disk, based upon the different scenario, the result as well as its address forwarded back to register file through address register, and again through the write operation it is sent back or sent out. Okay, so then after this diagram flow, let me show the diagram for a while so you can recall it what we have finished. Okay, okay, this was the diagram. Data entering, sign extension, copying into the register file, one operand here, one operand through the barrel shifter enters. Also the addresses of both operands enters the MAC. ALU calculates the result, MAC generates the address. So we got a result over here and address also. If you want to store the result only in the register, this way. If you want to store the result permanently, then like this. If you don't want to execute any of the instruction without help of ALU, so directly out. Okay, if you want to store the result like this, please observe data entry, execution here like this. Once it is a register, again out for the storage. Okay, so decoder is to decode the instruction or opcode. Incrementer is to adjust the PC program counter. So then we took the we have observed registers. So based upon the different processor mode, there are 6 modes: user bar system, fast interrupt, interrupt request, supervisor, undefined, and abort. So based upon these 6, we have seen each mode in our Keel software environment only. So how it is different from each mode. So in the examination, if the question is to write about ARM controller register, please make sure you have to write this diagram, this one. Okay, I will share the slides in the Google Drive, where I am going to store all the Zoom sessions and the material or the PPT, whatever I have, I will share with you soon. Okay, so this is what we have studied yesterday. Let's continue for the today. Okay, so here, so as I mentioned, a processor has 6 modes. So those are same names: user or system, FIQ, that means fast interrupt request. Okay, so you can see here the abbreviation column, second column, ABT, that means abort, FIQ, that means fast interrupt request, interrupt request IRQ, supervisor SVC, system SYS, undefined UND, user USR. So you can see there is no current. Can you see here the one which we have seen yesterday here? Here, see this current mode. Can you observe here the current one? It is nothing but user or system always. Okay, so that's why we have defaultly. Okay, so this one. So all the abbreviations and the third column, the last column, third column privileged. So that means whether we can accept means allow occurrence of interrupt or not. See, in all the modes except user, interrupts are allowed to occur. So what do you mean by interrupt? Here, the importance of interrupt definition is here. So why we have to study? Interrupt means, I think I have kept one definition over here. Okay, so fine. Okay, let me give the oral definition of interrupt. It's a interrupt meaning is signal which deviates present executable instruction. Okay, so this is what the definition of interrupt is. So that means something change will happen. Say very simple scenario let me give you is, you are listening a song in the mobile. Suddenly if you get a call from a friend, what happens is song will be paused for some time. Okay, so privileged means ranking, whether the playing music is more important, or receiving a call or getting communicating with other friend is more important. With respect to mobile, call has the highest priority than anything else. So whatever you keep doing in the mobile, so if you get a call, the present activity will be paused, and the new activity called call will be highest priority. So that is called privileged. So all other modes are privileged except user. During user mode, if we get any interrupt, nothing will happen. So all interrupts are masked. Okay. So this column I will explain once I go for the second slide of today's discussion. So hope there are 6 modes and their abbreviations. That means short form. So why this is important is, let me show you something what we have studied yesterday here. This one. See, this is a yesterday's discussion. Here you can see this diagram. In the diagram, you have to write the following. So only I am giving importance for that. User and system mode. No need to write any of the extension for resistors. Whereas in all other modes, we have to write extension. That means mode. See here, R8 underscore FIQ. So FIQ abbreviation full form is fast interrupt request. See R8 to R14. There is no R15 in any of the register set in other modes except user and system. Okay, so there is no CPSR also. Okay, there is no CPSR in all other 5 modes except user and system. See the R8 to R14 are FIQ. SPSR is also FIQ. Once the computer or the key processor shifts from FIQ to interrupt, the availability of resistors decreases. Instead of R8 to R12, or we don't have R8 to R12, what we left is R13 and R14 followed by SPSR. SPSR, I think we will get in the second module of this subject. Okay, so more about that part we will study there. Don't worry as of now. Once we enter a supervisor, undefined and abort, in even interrupt request, all are same, like only 2 registers for the operations. Those are R13 and R14, followed by the mode of the instruction. Oh, sorry, mode of the processor, either IRQ or supervisor or undefined or abort. So to identify in which mode the processor is, we should remember the short form or abbreviation of the processor or its modes. Okay, so then Okay, so okay, so now one second. Okay, okay, this is today's discussion. Okay, so the first slide, six modes, the definition of interrupt, their abbreviation, and privileged or no. So this one I will take it in the second slide. So let's go for second slide, which is an important discussion. CPSR. So where we can see the CPSR, just now I have shown in the bottom side, only in the user and system mode we can see the CPSR. So there will be a definite question in the examination about this. Explain CPSR. So maybe for 5 marks. Okay, so what we have to do is first and foremost thing. So here, let me elaborate the diagram. CPSR starts from 0th bit towards my right, which is a LSB, least significant bit. As we go gradually towards the left, we will get a MSB, most significant bit. The highest most significant bit number is 31, including 0th also. So hence we got a total of 32 bits. I repeat, total of 32 bits, in which 0th is a LSB and 31st bit is a MSB. Okay. So the next one here. So let's study now one by one what the group of bits or individual bits may define. Okay, see here. Now we have got one important notation that a bunch of first 5 bits, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Since it is 0 to 4, 0th is also included, 4th is also included. So total how much? It is a 5 bits. So 5 bits will decide a mode of the processor. See here, how many modes we have? We have 6 modes. How to decide in which mode it is? Let's see CPSR last 5 bits, and based upon that we have to see whether the ARM processor is in user bar system or FIQ or IRQ, supervisor, undefined, and abort. And remember, all the modes has different and unique numbers. You can see here 10111 for abort mode, 10001 for FIQ, 10010 for IRQ, that is interrupt request, 10011 for supervisor, all ones for system, 11011 for undefined, and finally one with the 4 zeros for user. See here, if you set this to 10011, check here, 10011. See this, which mode it is? Supervisor mode. One of the case study author has given 10010. See this, the word supervisor mode. Okay, supervisor mode. So what to explain whenever we get this question is, first we need to draw this and explain what each group is made up of. Okay, see this one. First 5 from my right side towards my left. Okay, decides mode of the processor. There are 6 modes. Out of them, only one mode at a time. It cannot be present in 2 modes at a time, only one mode. And based upon the combination here, we can decide here based upon these bits arrangement, we can decide in which mode the processor is. Okay, so here you can see modes explanation. 0th bit to 4th bit, 0th bit to 4th bit. Okay, that will decide modes. What 5th bit will decide whether the instruction is thumb or not. Okay, before I could go for thumb or not, let me recall one definition, that what do you mean by thumb instruction? So generally, ARM instructions are of 32 bit. Yesterday, I took one small example that if I want to execute, see here, I want to execute one operation this much 5 plus minus 2. Okay, so what is here? This is a positive number and this is a negative number. We know that computer will not execute or will not understand negative number. So what it will do is the value minus 2 we have to convert into 2's complement. 2's complement. If I convert that into 2's complement, the length of that 2's complement will be 32 bits. So what happened here? The number minus 2's length is 32 bit. So if 5 is a 4 bit, I cannot add an operand 4 bits, 4 bits an operand plus another 32 bits operand addition. This is not correct. So what is the option we have? Upgrade this also to 32 bits. Hence both will become 32 bit. Then we can get answer in 32 bit. Some of the instructions like Java codes particularly, they we cannot enhance or decrease their size. They are of either byte codes or thumb instruction. So what happens in that time? Some of the instructions will be 16 bits. So those compulsory we have to execute in 16 bits only, 16 bits mode only. So if an instruction is thumb, so what is one advantage? The advantage of thumb instruction is simple. Just imagine this. A person is capable to lift a 10 kg. Okay, sorry, exactly I will use. A person is capable to lift a 32 kg and we are telling him to lift 16 kg. So what is his capacity? He can lift 32 kg. What we have assigned 16 kgs. So what happens? Will he lift it smoother? I mean easier? Yes, because his capacity is more and what we assigned is little lesser. Same way, if we assign him to lift 8 kg weight where his capacity is 32, so he will lift it little more speed. And if we have multiple number of weights, multiple means n number of 16 bits, 16 kgs things and some number of 8 kgs. So what he can do? He can lift two numbers of 16 kg things and four numbers of 8 kg things. That means what? His capacity is always 32. So if we have only one or few who will execute only 16, means that means what? We have whatever the instructions we have, they are only 16 bits. Then what he will do? He will himself set to 16-bit operation mode. That is called as thumb instruction. So that is also one state. So how the thumb is? It's a bit number fifth. If bit number fifth is set to 1, okay. So let me give one important analysis here, which I have made it in a red. Please read it out. Okay. So see here, if a particular bit is 1, or also we call it a set, that result we should assume that event occurred, event generated. See this, if t bit is 1, what is the definition of t bit? Thumb. That means instruction is of 16 bit. Okay. So similarly, if some v, something like v bit, which is a 28th here, that I will explain little later. V bit, if it is set to 1, we should assume what is v means? Overflow. So we got a overflow, like that we have to assume. Okay, so now if fifth bit is 1, what we should think? The instruction is thumb. Thumb means the instruction is 16 bits instruction. Even though computer has a capacity of performing 32 bit, instruction itself is smaller, hence the instruction is of 16 bits. So now coming for the next, sixth and seventh bits together. 6th and 7th bits together. So 6th bit here is a fast interrupt. 6th bit is fast interrupt and 7th bit is only interrupt. Now you can think what is the difference between interrupt and fast interrupt. See, here what happens whenever we are listening a music, we will get two notifications. The first notification, one file I have kept for download, that download is completed. So that computer will or mobile will tell me the download file is completed. And another activity happens, which is during the playing of music, is getting a call. Who has highest priority? That means important priority, call. So call should be processed through fast request, whereas a notification which tells me that the downloading file is completed, that is processed normally. So again, if two important activities come at a time, so to differentiate them, again we have one as a fast interrupt, another one as a normal interrupt request processing. So here sixth bit is for fast. Okay, here I will change 7 and 6th. Because I wrote interrupt first, then F. You can make a note here. Here in the broad, 7th bit is I, 6th bit is capital F. Capital F indicates what? Fast interrupt, and small I indicates normal interrupt. Among these two, both cannot be high. Please make a note. Both cannot be high. Anyone can be high. And also, both can be zero because no interrupt at all. So that means no normal interrupt, not even a fast interrupt. That means both can be zero, but both cannot be high at a time. So that time priority will be given for fast interrupt. So what happens is, if I want to get a notification of downloading as well as a call from of my friends, so among these two, which will be solved using fast interrupt? Call. Hence a call will be, I mean getting call is a high priority than getting a notification of download completion. Is it clear? Okay, so three set of bits I have explained. Mode, that is 0 to 4th, total of 5 bits. Fifth bit, that is for thumb or not. 7th bit, interrupt or not. 6th bit, fast interrupt or not. Okay, so after that we have a gap. Here opcode, different opcode like add, subtract, multiplication, etc. Their binary representations associated with the values. Value means add 2 comma 3, 2 comma 3. So add is also converted into binary ones and zeros. 2 is also converted into ones and zeros. 3 is also converted into ones and zeros. So for that reason, the space is kept. Okay, so what is the importance of 24th bit? 24th bit, it is a little different name. Whether the instruction is JAZZLE, JAZZE, 24th bit instruction will tell us, sorry, 24th bit will tell us whether instruction is JAZZLE or not. So what do you mean by JAZZLE? See here, there are three type of instructions. ARM instruction, that means which uses processor full size, that is 32 bit. Thumb instruction, which uses half of the capacity of processor. JAZZLE is a third set which uses 1/4 of the processor capacity. Okay, so that means what? When a person can lift 32, we are assigning him to lift 16 kg, that is half of his capacity. If we assign him to lift 8 kg, we have given work of his 1/4 capacity. Okay. Okay, so if there is one important thing to tell you, that the instruction, sorry, the bits 24th and 5th correlated. The bit number 24th and 5th are correlated. How? 24th will tell us JAZZLE and 5th will tell us thumb. So here is a explanation. So when computer know or how it understands, he should execute full capacity is if both J is 0 and T bit is 0. J bit is 0 and T bit is 0. If both are 0, computer understands that the work is of full capacity. Okay. If J bit is 0 and T bit is 1, that means what? Jezzel is 0, but thumb is 1. That means thumb. Computer understands or processor understand that half of its capacity is sufficient. So how to understand Jezzel? The instruction what it is executing is of category Jezzel. So J should be 1, T should be 0. So if this is a order or arrangement of 5th bit and 24th bit, then processor understands that it is executing 1/4 of its capacity. What is its capacity is 32. Among it is executing 1/4, that is 8 bits. Okay, so can we have J is equal to 1 and T is equal to 1 together? It's wrong. It will not happen. J1 and T1, it's wrong. Instruction cannot become J1, that means both thumb as well as Jezzel. It is not possible. It can be any one among the three. So what is the rule for becoming ARM instruction? J0, T0. What is the rule for thumb instruction? T1, J0. The condition for Jezzel instruction is J1, T as 0. Okay. So the now interrupt is completed, Jezzel is completed. So here 24. Again we have space. Okay, which is not utilized by user side. It is reserved for computer side. So again now we have 5 bits continuous. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So let's study what is 27th bit. 27th bit is Q. Okay, sometimes saturation of operations. Saturation means what? Continuous, sorry, say for example, I want to collect a ATM pin. Okay, so when we know ATM pin will finishes the entering of ATM pin, once the user presses 4 buttons on the keyboard, it is understood that ATM pin is completed. Can he try to give 5th button? That means if you try to give 5th button, it is called as saturation. Saturation means the expected data is collected, and if we want as he enters 4th digit of the pin, let's say my password is 1234. First I will enter 1, then I will enter 2, then I will enter 3. Last, as soon as I enter a 4th button, yes, that means 27th bit will become 1. So what it assumes, whatever he wanted to give is he has given. Now you can go for the next step of verification whether the pin entered is correct or not. So say for example, social media password, it is something like JCET is a password. So first JCET, so 4 letters, HBL 3 letters, total password size is 7. So what is expected answer? So as soon as he hits 7 button, saturation should be high till he enters. If he enters 3rd, 4th, 5th, saturation is not yet, because about to enter 2 or 3 more remaining bits. As soon as he enters that, so we should tell that saturation is done. So that means if the sufficient data is collected, it is called saturation. Insufficient data, no saturation. If more than data, it is also called as overflow. Okay, so we have one more data bit for 28th bit, V, which indicates overflow. This happens whenever we add highest numbers or highest number multiplication. I hope you all remember overflow. So if you perform F plus F, hexadecimal F plus F, so where MSB of each number is high. See, let me show here if possible. 1111, this is a F, and here also what I will do here, 111 and 1. Okay, okay, what happens here, what we expect, here you can see Okay, so here. Okay, so now you see this 1 plus 1, 0 with a carry. So 0 with 1 carry here for the second bit. 1 plus 1 plus 1, 1 with 1 carry for the third bit. 1 plus 1 plus 1, again 1 with 1 carry. So 3 times 1, again 1 with extra carry. So we don't have space to show this extra carry, so we'll write this extra. See this f plus f. What is the size of operand? 4 bits. Second operand, that is also 4 bit, but answer is not possible to sufficient to store only 4 bit. So we have to go for extra fifth bit. If fifth bit is here, so how to adjust the fifth bit? Here we have to make it 3 zeros as a prefix. See the answer now. First 4 bit, that is called as nibble, and these are another 4 bits. So operand is how much size? 4 bits. Another operand is also 4 bits, but answer is not sufficient to store in 4 bits only. So this is called as overflow case. Okay, fine. In that situation, 28th bit will become high. Okay, what about a 29th bit? Okay, just now I have shown overflow and carry. So at end of operation, if carry generates, C will become high. Definite thing, all overflows because of carry, but not all carry will give us overflow. Please remember, all overflow definitely carry, but all carries not result into overflow. Okay, so which bit is carry? 29th bit here. 29th. How many are remaining now? 30th and 31st. So what is the 30th operation? The two operations, two operands, what we did, either plus or minus, a star, etc. Anything we did, if answer is given as 0, it will set to 1. If answer is not given as to 0, so this 30th bit will be 0. So what it means here? I wanted to add 2 plus bracket of -2. So what is the answer here? Even though we did a plus, the answer is 0. Immediately 30th bit will become 1. So if I change this to something like plus 2, so what is the answer now? 2 plus 2, 4. Is answer 0? No. So that means 30th bit will not set to 1. If answer of some operation is 0, then automatically the 30th bit will become high. High means what? 1. 1 means set. Okay. So the last bit, 31st bit. If answer of operation, or at least an operand, is a negative. Okay. If n is, see here. If I change this to here, you see. What is the answer here? The answer is -1. 2 plus of -3. What is the answer? -1. So immediately last bit will becomes 1. If I change this to 4, 4 plus of -3, what is the answer now? +1. So at this time, n, which is a 31st bit, will become 0. Why? Because answer is not a negative. If it is not a negative, what we call? It's a positive. So for positive answer, last bit is 0. For negative answer, last bit, that is MSB bit, will be 1. Okay, please do reply any doubts in this CPSR. It's a very very important question with respect to the examination. I will give a minute of a time, so you can if you have the question, raise the hand, or else you can type in the question also. If no, at least a few members can type here, no doubts. So I can continue for the next. This is an important concept. Let the session be interactive. Hello, can you hear me? Type at least no doubts so I can continue. Okay, 28th bit. Okay, overflow. Fine. So here I will take a same operation. I wanted to f plus f. What is the answer? Okay. So here you see, when I convert this f into binary, what is the size of f? Sorry, representation of f is this much, plus another f representation is this much. So again, what's the answer? So how to decide overflow? What is the size number of bits of this operand? 4. Okay, this operand 4. So what is the answer size should be? 4 bits only. Okay, so 4 bits only. So let's see whether this will happen or not. I wanted to see, if you want to do this example, let me give like before I could go for this 2 plus 3. Okay, so what's the answer in the binary here? 2 means what? 0 0 1 0. Just below that I will write 3 here. One second, I will explain. Zero, sorry, here. Okay, 0 0 double 1. Okay, this is what I am explaining here for 2 plus 3. Okay, here I am explaining for 2 plus 3. So what I will do here is, okay, so now you add 0 plus 1. Now you add 0 plus 1. What is the answer here? Here I have kept a cursor. Start from LSB side always. 0 plus 1 1. So going for the next 1 plus 1 here. Can you see the cursor here? 1 plus 1 is 2. But binary addition I wanted to do. Okay. So 2 we don't have a symbol. So 0, I will put 1 carry here. Here for the third bit. So what is the third bit addition? 0 plus 1 carry. So here what happens? I got 1. So next is what? No carry forward, hence it is 0. So what is the total representation of 0 1 0 1? 1 2 4 8. So what is the answer here? So this is what is 5. 2 plus 3, is it 5? Yes. Okay. Okay. Now coming back to this f plus f. This f plus f. Hope you understood. No overflow right now. Okay. Okay. So how to decide f plus f? Here you can see. This is what f plus f I wanted to show here. Okay. So shape here. Okay. Now you see. What is the LS beside 1 plus 1? Here 1 plus 1 2. That means 0 with the 1 carry here. Here is a carry. Okay. 1 plus 1 plus 1. 3 ones. That means 3. How to show the 3 here? 1 with 1 carry for the third bit. Third bit again 1 plus 1 plus 1. Again we have got what? 1 with 1 more carry. Last 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is 1 with 1 carry. So that 4 bits is not sufficient to store the result because carry is there again. So hence we will use 1 more. So we will group last LSB side 4 ones and MSB side we have only 1 digit. To make it a standard size, I will prefix 3 zeros. So this is a 4 bits and this is another 4 bit. So what is the total answer size now? 8 bits. So if answer is not possible to store in operand size, it is called as overflow. Also this carry makes C as 1. Okay. Why we somebody can ask why we should not keep it only 4 ones and zeros? Because if we keep this, it's in the representation, in the present representation, MSB means my left side it is 1. So it understands, computer understands that it is a 2's complement. So to avoid that confusion, we have to prefix zeros. So once I write some zeros, what is most MSB means MSB bit 0. That means positive. So this complete number will become positive. Hope you understood now. Who is that? Prekshita. Okay, fine. So now, okay, one more was there, Preetham. If answer is negative, then n will be okay. If answer is negative, see the question is correct. If something you did, answer is negative, then n will be 1 only. Something you did, if answer is not negative, means what? Positive, then n bit will be 0. So this question is, I felt very important, so I am taking little more time. If you want, you can ask with respect to some values also. Don't hesitate, don't keep any doubts with you. So Pritham, okay, hope you understood. So fine, one more bit. Okay, no more bits are remaining, I think. Okay, let me recall in a fast 27. What is that? Okay, saturation. Okay, see now, one example I have given. We have set ATM pin 4 bits. So user will enter the card, and now he is about to enter the pin number. So how many bits or how many buttons he has to press? 4. Okay, as soon as he hit 1, saturation will not rise to 1 because he has to enter 3 more. Now he will give second button, so 2 more buttons to press. He will hit third button, 1 more button to press. Once he enter fourth bit or fourth button, saturation immediately becomes high because what is the length of pin? 4. How many buttons he pressed? That is also 4. So answer is saturated. Saturated means full space is, I mean space is fully covered. Okay, so if that is a case, as soon as he hits fourth button, saturation is over. Okay, so he cannot give fifth button, even though he give it before the before the fifth button hitting and after the fourth button hitting. Between that gap, saturation is 1. That takes a computer or ATM machine to different mode, like pin is correct, now you can enter the amount, like that. Okay, understood. So here means what is the size of data expected and what he has given. If matches, saturation equal to 1. If not matches, keep collecting the input. Is that clear, Sagar? Okay, fine. So let's go. This concept is important, so I took a little more time. Fine. Okay, now let's go for one more possibly theory question. So differences between ARM instruction and thumb instruction and Giselle instruction. It's not possible to give in the same table. So we have a 3 different table. So let's take now some of the differences between ARM mode and thumb mode. Sorry, not a mode. It's a set of instruction. So what is size of instruction in the ARM? It is 32-bit. Thumb, it is 16-bit. How many instructions are of ARM? Definitely 58. In the thumb, we have 30. Is it clear? So there are 58 instructions in this core which execute as a ARM, and there are 30 which executes as a thumb. So conditional execution. Almost all instructions will execute conditionally in the ARM. Only branch instructions will execute as conditional as a thumb instruction. So data processing instructions, how they are? All are access to barrel shifter and ALU. So I hope you remember the barrel shifter and ALU almost closer with each other. Okay, so same, it is all data processing instructions will use same barrel shifter and ALU, whereas in the thumb instruction, separate barrel shifter and ALU instructions are there for in the thumb set. Okay, so program status register, that means SPSR or even CPSR. You can see program status register. Okay, so here how it different in ARM set and thumb set. Read write in privileged mode, and we cannot directly access it in a thumb mode. As a user, we cannot perform thumb mode. Thumb mode is decided by computer itself, whereas in ARM we can perform even read write all operations. Okay, so registers usage, only 8 registers are used. Also 7 high registers and 1 PC program counter. In ARM, all 15 registers we can use. Okay. Thumb instruction means we have a limitation. So in the practical, you will come to know what is thumb instruction and what is ARM instruction. How many are comes under thumb and how many will be, and which all we can use in the ARM instruction set. Okay. So next, what do you mean by Jezzel instructions? So why they are faster? Can you justify? Because they are smaller in the size. But since they are smaller in the size, they cannot hold huge data. Of course, here I mentioned 8 bits means maximum they can hold 8-bit data. But here what we can hold in the ARM instruction is 32-bit. That means capacity will be more in ARM than in the Jezzel. Okay. So here Jezzel instruction. What is the 2 points? Just 2 points about it. Here 8-bit. Jezzel instruction size is 8-bit. Here we can see. What is instruction size of ARM? 32. Thumb 16-bit. Okay. So how many instructions we have under Jezzel category? Almost 60% of Java bytecodes. Java bytecodes. What do you mean by Java bytecodes? You are going to study in your object-oriented concept subject or any of the Java-related subject. Okay. So rest of the codes are implemented in software. 60% of the codes of Jezzel are executed in hardware. Remaining 40% will be implemented in software. Okay. More about this we will come to know whenever as we go for the lab parts. Okay. So now let's go for here this part. Okay, let me elaborate this diagram so you can get NZCVQ. These whatever I have explained now, again we have a repeated execution. Saturation. Q means what? Saturation. V means overflow. C means carry generated or not. Z means the performed operation has given answer of 0 or not. N means whether the number is 32-bit, sorry, negative or positive. Okay. So bit number 31st should be binary 1. Then only it is called negative. If not, it is positive. If we got a number whose 31st bit here, 31st bit is 0, it is a positive. If its 31st bit is 1, the complete instruction is negative, like that. Okay, see, the capital letters. See, we are not using O for overflow. We are using capital V for overflow. That's what he has highlighted. Capital S. Okay, sorry. Saturation, special name called Q. Carry, C, Z, 0, N, negative. Only different name is Q. Okay. So these are the conditional flags. Why they are called as conditional flags? Flag means what? Rise it or keep it down. Rise means event occurred. Keep it down means event not occurred. Say for example, there is a race of 4 members or 4 cars. As first winner comes, the person who is holding a flag, he will rise up. That means lap 1 is completed or first winner is decided. Like that you can think. That means what? If the flag is high, that means something has happened. If flag is down, that means nothing important activity has happened. So if Q is 1, saturation is happened. If V is 1, overflow is happened. If C is 1, carry has been generated. If Z is 1, answer become 0. If N is 1, answer is negative. Like that, these are called as conditional flags. Okay, so let's go for next. Okay, so before I could start this, please tell me any of the doubts here in the mode, because I will give more importance for this concept rather than going for the next without making student to confident about this. So what everybody should able to do is they should able to write the CPSR diagram fully and more. So please write this table also. You can skip the third column, but you should able to write mode name, abbreviation, and this value. Okay, these values. Okay, next each bit and their works and their effects, and also in the explanation of CPSR you should able to write differences between ARM, thumb, Jezzel. If not this table, At least you should able to write when it is a arm, when it is a thumb, and when it is a gesture. If a question is asked like write a differences between arm and thumb instructions, then you should able to write this part, this table. Okay, if not, only CPSR explanation, this diagram, these bits, and also explanation about a JSL. Here, these are definitions. What do you mean by conditional flags? Okay, any doubts you can ask here. Let me wait for a minute. Don't feel anything to ask a doubt. I'm here to clarify with you and make you to confident about the subject. Okay, only second module is very important for our lab syllabus, so do not keep doubts with you. If not possible to hear you ask, you can ask it over the mobile or through the mail, etc. Okay, the platform is open for you to clarify all your doubts. Okay, fine. Let's take next, pipeline. Okay, so pipeline means what? Ordered execution of instructions, and in the same order we have to supply them to the ALU. So here is a simple pipeline: fetch, decode, execute. So now number of stages are 3 only. So now what do you mean by fetch? Taking the instructions and taking the data. Okay, without fetch we cannot decode, without decode we cannot execute. Hence fetch is first and important. So what happens if the question is 2 plus 3? So explain how I can explain here the name of our operation of fetch. Fetch 2 comma fetch 3. Okay, fetch 2 then fetch 3. See here, this is what I answer. What happens if I take this fetch 2 and fetch 4? Here what is actual activity? Fetching 2 and fetching 3, but unknowingly I fetched one operand correct, another operand wrong. So what is here? This is a wrong instruction, a wrong value. So what answer will become? Answer will be wrong. Why? Because fetching itself is wrong. Okay, if fetching is correct, if fetching is correct, what happens? So answer will be correct because fetch. See, that's simple. So importance of fetch, I hope you know. Okay, now I fetched a number correct. Okay, I fetched the data correct. I understood 2 also correct. Sorry here. And 3 also correct. Okay. Also, I didn't understood what do you mean by this symbol. Here. What is the meaning of this symbol? Then what happens? See this. I understood value 2 correctly. I understood value 3 correctly, but I didn't understood the meaning of plus. So what will be the answer? Answer will be wrong. Why? Because I don't know what you mean by plus. If I correctly understands the meaning of plus also, then definitely what is 2 plus 3? Result will be correct. Why? Because I fetched value correct, understood value correct. I fetched value 3 correct, understood value 3 correct. I understood the operation what I have to do, and I did correct operation. Hence, definitely I will get a correct answer. So when it is possible to decide I got a correct answer is when everything is correct by fetch, by decode, then definitely execution will be correct. So some of us will be keep on telling in our AD lab most of the time, my circuit is correct and even connections are correct. So only the computer or the hardware is not correct. See this. If you fetched a correct diagram, if you have drawn correct diagram here, like a fetching connections is correct, how the execution can become wrong. Okay, so that means we should do correct operations, then only we can expect a correct output. Okay, so that means here fetch, decode, execute. So can we have different here how the an instruction executes in the pipeline? See here, first add instruction is in the fetch stage. Okay, when a subtraction enters, add will be pushed to the decode. When compare enters, subtraction push to decode, add push to execute. So can you tell who is currently executing instruction in the present diagram which I have selected? Add. Who will execute first is also add. Who will execute next is a subtract. Who will execute last is compare. Okay, so this is how an instruction will enter. Hope you have studied in your previous semester. Okay, so now what is importance of pipeline is, as we have more and more sized or staged pipeline, we will get more accuracy in the result. Okay, see this accuracy will be increased, but problem with having a very heavy size of pipeline is it causes delay. Delay means late execution, because instruction itself suffers lot of sub step operations, so that definitely that will take most of the time. Okay, fine. Okay, so the last point from this pipeline for today is one case diagram with example explain how the pipeline happens. See, there are four instructions: memory, status, read, okay, add and subtract. There are four instructions which is in a dark, that is first underwent for the execution. See this now, fetch, which instruction is fetched? MSR. So if MSR is fetched, MSR will be decoded first, then MSR will be executed first. Who will be fetched next? Add. Next add will be executed, sorry, decoded. Next add will be executed. So later and here and is not yet executing, because I wanted to show only for 4 CPU cycles. How to show the fourth last execution? Cycle 5. Cycle 5. Here is what? Here we will get and. Here we will get sub, nothing. Cycle 6, sub here. So to finish all this, we need minimum 6 cycles. Okay. So in the next class, we'll take a theory part, and hope first module will be finished by tomorrow class only, or in the next class. Please give your attendance by typing your USN, and you can quit the session. ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಇದು ಮಾಡೋದು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಕಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ?